So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done one of these, maybe about a month or so, but we are here racing in the CPI colours this time in the Alfa Romeo in the NLR Team Cup. I believe this is round 7 and we are going to be driving around Austria. So you can see me driving out on the medium tyre. That is because I'm a complete mush and forgot to record Q1 in its entirety, but we got through, scraped in with a valid lap, got us about P10 I think. Really right at the death of the session. I wasn't really putting too much into it, but yeah, so we did a couple laps on the mediums, got to a 3.9 which stuck as P5, but we went out again. We felt like we really did want to get through on the medium tyre because I've done a league race here starting on the softs, and let's say it did not go well. These tyres definitely have a lot of pace as we get a really nice exit coming out of turn 1. We struggled here through quali, didn't really get the exits that we were getting in practice as we avoid a major lockup coming into turn 3. Of course, no ABS being used today. Coming down a second straight, down into turn 4, taking this wider line, very easy to lock the rears here, but we managed to trail off just enough and get a really nice exit. And I'll tell you that technically this was probably it wasn't my fastest lap in a session, but it was probably my best. I didn't really make too many mistakes. That was a little bit of understeer coming through there, but we get a nice run coming into turn 8, I believe. I do not know this track very well. But yeah, we are coming into the last 2 corners. We struggled with track limits through the quality in the race, but we managed to get it right this time. A bit of a lock up into the last corner, which becomes a recurring theme, but we do get across the line for a 3.808. And I mean, this was obviously with a little bit of time on the table. I know I could probably do about a 3.6 if I really push for it, but you know, I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to invalidate and have to go on the softs. And yeah, we did get through in P8, as we can see myself sweatily comparing sector times. And well, we're going to go straight into Q3 now. Was very happy to be here in the first place. This is on a very old set of tyres. As you can see, after this they were on double-digit percentages. So the time was nothing stupendous. It was slower than our medium time. In fact, we're going to P5 out of 6 runners. But as you can see, yeah, well, I managed to cut it before. They were on about 12-13%. But we're just coming through here and get another wet invalidation through the second last corner, cutting the inside. But we only really did a 3.6. I wasn't too happy with this time. It only would have moved us up 1 place. But now this is coming on to our final lap, and this is our best lap. A little bit awkward through the first corner again, short shifting into 5th for the traction, which helps a bit. But again, it was really not the exit that I was looking for, and we look like we do a mid 0.9, which is not the best. We were looking to do at least a 0.8 in the first sector, a high 0.8. But we get a really nice exit coming out of there in 3rd. And yeah, the footage decides to cut by about half a second. Apologise for that, my PS4 is not the best. But yeah, we short shift into 4th for the downhill all right again. We took it pretty well. Shifting into 5th, and we don't get the best exit, but we came across the apex quite strong there, so it was a decent run. Again, shifting down 2 gears, I like to do that here. It feels like I have more control over the car. And coming into the last 2 corners, braking so early, really leaving time on the table, and we understeer, lock up and go a little bit wide, and that did lose us time for what was a pretty decent lap as we head into P6, which I was actually quite happy with. The boys from my team were happy with it. I felt like if I'd really got every ounce of time from the car, I could maybe have even got onto P3, the front row. I mean, my PB could have been like well, in time trial it was a 0.0, in short quality it was about a 0.3 I think. But yeah, as we see here, Roll Nathan, I believe he improved on his lap even more. Took a very interesting line in the last corner. Bit of lawn mowing, but he still managed to improve with it, which was impressive in itself. And as you can see, we once again compare sector times like a little sweat, trying to see where I could improve. And yeah, as you can see, the 0.9 in the first sector really did lose me some time, and my last was also not too impressive, slower than all the guys in front of me, whereas my middle was I believe the second fastest out of all the runners, just 300ths behind Nathan, the pole sitter. So yeah, it was a decent quality. I didn't bottle it too much, which I'm accustomed to doing, as we're going to skip on straight onto the grid. I'm sorry, these transitions are very debatable. but you're gonna have to live with it in my videos because I did not have the time to make these super good, but I'll do my best. As yeah, we're lining up onto the grid. As you can see, just under the Repaz's name, Giroud is actually disconnected from the session. There was a lobby glitch just before. It took us a while to get in. We were worrying we were going to have to restart. But yeah, it was essentially a free position for us if he couldn't get... I think he was in the session, but he couldn't take control of his car. And as you can see off the line here, he's not going to get a very good start at all. But yeah, on the medium tyres, worrying about the start, trying to get a good one here. The 5 red lights are on. And it's lights down, away we go, and again we get a dodgy reflex. Kart racer gets a fly to top 4 really quick, but fortunately behind me the only man who gets a better start is Robbie. And I said to my teammate Florian before the race, I knew Robbie was going to jump me off the start. He has very quick reflexes, and we slot into P6. Of course we don't actually lose a position because of what happened to Jeroen, who is now in P20, as you can see on the mini map. And yeah, this first lap we see Repaz going off track again. The footage cuts out, my apologies. But yeah, a little bit of scrapping in the top 4. Myself, I was just focused on trying to preserve like a decent position, knowing that our team was currently sat in, I believe it's 6th place in the standings, and there are points for both quali in the race, so we'd already secured a good haul of points. But of course, I want to just maintain a decent position in the race, keep the car pointing in the right direction, and hopefully work our way back up. But as you can see, we remain in P6. And behind us, I was actually really worried about the ADRT of Javi behind us. But as you can see at this corner, I think he takes a bit too much curve and he goes round, and that gives me a really comfortable gap in P6 as XR Gary on the soft tyre, the fastest soft tyre, was a 1.3 behind us. And we're going to skip straight onto lap 6, really not too much action with us. We stayed in P6, but as you can see the Repaz spins, and from I believe P3 or P2, I might have been in contact with Nathan, I'm not too sure. But yeah, as you can see, he whacks his rear ring on the inside barrier, and that proves to be costly, as he did get damage, as we did interact with him later on in this race. As we're going to go on to lap 14 now, and just running in P4, and as you can see, a virtual safety car has been called. And this was actually the disadvantage of running on the softs, on the mediums at the start, because we couldn't pit realistically. But of course, all the soft runners who managed to stay with us the whole time, the DRS proving or overpowering the degradation. But yeah, Gary and I believe the soft runners behind him got to pit onto the mediums as we get the world's wettest penalty going across that curb again. I was really focusing on not getting pens, as you might have seen, Robbie did get one in on lap 7, I believe, and I was just like, I had one warning at the time, but of course I managed to bottle it. And now we peel off into the pit. It's lap 20. I think, yeah, Kart Racer went for a 1-lap undercut, the Aston Martin driver, the NLR driver, on the soft, so he, I believe, peeled into P2. Killer Blue decides to stay out, the XL man on the mediums, going out for 1 extra lap, trying to get a decent undercut, as well, we're about to cut out here. But we're going to come out just behind ERT Sember, as you're about to see. So Robbie did get ahead of him at turn 3, but we were behind Samba, who was on slightly older softs. So he had to go for a wing change at about lap 5 or lap 6. But yeah, he'd caught up the time from that stop. But he was actually a fair bit slower because his tyres were much more worn than myself on pretty much brand new softs. But as you can see, it doesn't matter too much. We only get stuck behind him for a lap or so. And the full safety car comes out. I believe that was Jackson who DNF'd. This time we do know why the safety car came out. And you can see Samba, he's going to peel into the pits now. So we don't have to worry about him. We can focus on getting the soft runners in front. And of course we'd all made our stops, so no one got a big undercut from this. The 2 medium runners of Gary and Toma, the RT man, were in P1 and 2, but myself, Nathan, Kart Racer, Robbie, as well as Liam and Killer Blue behind, we were all really looking to make the moves as soon as we could, so we could try and break away. But as you can see, Tom taking it very slowly on the restart, and now he goes on the exit of the last corner. We don't get the best of restarts. Robbie gets about 5/10 on us, but behind us Liam did not get the best of restarts either. So as well, once again we maintain P6, braking very late, gaining some time back on that corner. As yeah, we're going to show the whole of this lap. Well, no, we're not actually. I apologise. We're going to show some of this lap in turn 3. We get a little knock, I think that was from Liam. It did break quite early. I was surprised, startled by Robbie, because he did break very early himself as I wiggle around a little bit, showing my displeasure. Well, also apologising to Liam, really. And as we see in here, coming through to lap 27, Robbie is going to go down the inside of Gary on turn 7, and that is a risky move, and he snaps, makes a little bit of contact and goes onto the grass. And I was loving this because it was a free position going up into P5. Most drivers with 3-second penalties, of course. And now deploying our ERS, we are focused on getting Gary. And here, on the next lap, at the exit of turn 3, we can see he's derating. We use all our ERS and we're going to sort of send it down the inside. Gary tries to cover off the inside, but we're going to permit to the move anyway. And there's a little bit of contact. As we see Tom, he had contact with Nathan, spinning out from the lead. But we do get the move done on Gary. Very nice racing from us two, keeping just about clean, although very aggressive. But as you can see, he's going to be able to come back of us. And Liam really forces his way through here. I get the DRS, but I'm not too strong for ERS. And Killer Blue gets past a pair of them, getting a better exit because of it was quite an aggressive move from Liam. And Killer Blue now is going to commit to the outside. Brakes quite late. We have a little lock-up coming into the downhill right, and we try and get a better exit, but Killer Blue is just about ahead, and he takes his position duly for turn 6. But as you can see on lap 30, it was not over. Killer Blue got a much better exit than us here. Liam right behind also got a pretty strong exit. He's gaining, he's got more ERS to play. We're catching up on Killer Blue though, so this is not a pleasant position to be in. We have to brake early, give Killer Blue a little tap in the rear as we're just trying to work out where to position our car. Samba as well on the charge behind us. And Killer Blue doesn't have DRS, but we do not have the ERS to get past, whereas Samba is going to go down her inside. And yeah, he squeezes a little bit, but it's all fair. And yeah, we go from P4 to P6 in one lap. Well, no, P3 actually, because we were in that position roughly last lap. But yeah, it was not the best. But yeah, we just kind of were around in a train. Kart Racer and Nathan managed to get away. They'd already had a gap, and us fighting didn't help. But now Liam does actually lose touch. He makes a little mistake on the exit of turn 7, and well, we were raring to go here. Had that annoying red line at the last corner the whole time since the safety car, which meant we were losing time as Liam goes off track, trying to gain as much time as he can. But of course, he has no DRS from the two boys in front, so this really looks like a free position for us. Sticking the throttle down. Robbie behind us. There's also to worry about, although he did have 6 seconds of penalties and we weren't close to getting one ourselves. But yeah, as we get the move on Liam, I think down the inside, keeping it in first gear, we're going up to third, but we don't get the DRS. So Liam Carrick is going to go back at us, the yellow Iron Man, and we cover off the inside, and we just about, I think, get a better run on the inside, and yeah, the exit helps us. And so Liam has to tuck in behind for one more lap, but of course that's not over. He has a little look on the inside. We give him enough space, but keep it on the outside. Nice defensive move from us there. Getting a lovely exit. And of course we were really pushing now, trying to get away from these two because they were really going to challenge on the DRS coming into the last lap. Killer Blue and Samba were now out of the picture as, well, they had the same amount of penalties as us. And now deploying all our ERS down this back straight, trying to keep a sufficient gap as the footage cuts for another half a second. We get a nice exit. Liam losing a little bit of time, but now he's going to get that all back with the DRS. And we go try and defend on the outside, but the Repaz, he makes a really bold move into the apex, and well, Liam pushes me off a little bit, not knowing I was there. And yeah, the Repaz forces his way through the apex, which was well, I did report it was annoying considering he had damage. The decisions of this race are yet to come out, but well, I guess we're going to have to see on that one. Either way, I think, well, he did have 6 seconds of pen, so it didn't affect our position in front of him, but it was quite annoying to have that happen, especially getting another warning in the process. But now we're going to come through the last sector of this long Austria race. It's pretty tidy from us. Obviously P6 in the end was not the best result. I felt like we really did have potential for a podium, but of course the way things happened, the way that I had Killer Blue and Samba and the other guys behind me meant that I couldn't really defend too hard. But as you can see, we finish in P6. Nathan may receive a penalty as well.